match one. He's going to try to push the plant taking another attack where the plant's going down, but
I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. So loud, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop.
Diffuser down closet.
Trophy. Get some power.
Yo, just
below and manages to get in, and they drop down randomly.
I got the streets on lock, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. So loud, you know I can't stop, no I can't stop. No I can't stop.
Standing in the street, the sun is in the east. Calling out the beast, the tiger underneath. I'm starting to believe the world is at my feet. I'm ready for the feast, it's all within my reach. So within my reach. I'm going all the way, and I'm going. Yeah, my blood is rebel. I'm going all the way. I'm going to another level.
And welcome to Midwest R6. I hope the matchups have been good for everyone who's been playing this season, but we've got a good one for you tonight, folks. I'm here with Kimchi, and we're going to be watching Kansas University versus Illinois State University. I haven't seen much of Kansas. I'm sure I've casted them before, but I know ISU for sure is a hard hitter. But Kimchi, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I think this is our first time, if I'm not mistaken.
This is our first cast together. I'm pretty excited to get into this. I'm back for another week. I just kind of want to cast more R6 now. I guess, I don't know. Got the job, watched the invitational, so I'm just very hype about R6 at the moment.
Oh yeah, the reveal for year 9 was
I missed
insane.
that
Oh
part.
my.
Tuned
Oh,
in for the
you actually.
finals. I tuned in
Yeah.
for finals. That was fun.
Oh yeah, but no, they released that Deimos was gonna be a new operator, which I thought was definitely an interesting choice. I was not ready for the next operator to be like the star villain, you know, if you pay attention to the cinematics and whatnot. So I thought that was definitely interesting. But you know what is not so interesting, but still a necessary sin? Well, maybe not a sin, but a necessary evil, you know, to keep us going and keep you informed. Ad reads, baby, let's do it. First kill. Watch out for tonight's first kill, presented by Blue Light. Blue Light helps gamers enhance their performance while protecting their vision. Their specialized glasses protect eyes from blue light risks while maintaining necessary screen time and display preferences, ensuring both eye health and optimal gaming. Top 5. Ready to show off your insane or clumsy highlights from your Midwest R6 match? Send them to @MidwestR6 on Twitter and Discord to potentially be featured. And I do believe we have some top 5 clips to feature right now, so we'll check those out in just a moment.
Funny, I'll convince myself when it turns to 12.
Nice top metal. Critical plant. Wow. Nice. You're fucking, you a team.
Echo chambers inside a neighbor. Centerfolds, humility shown. You're not as good as what your mama said. Aren't you glad that you reside in a hell and in disguise? Nobody at everything but cool the shit.
Oh, he's in the corner by the cash door. He's not cash box. He's close right. Nice, Aid. In cash. On the wall.
Raptors.
Okay, play on that spot. Play on that spot.
Nice.
Playing close to the door.
Watch red
Sure.
rotate.
I just need sound. Coming flank.
Where from?
Just Logi. I'm a Logi rotate.
Okay, let me die here.
I got her.
Got this.
Shit.
Good round, Aid. Good round.
Close dead. Oh! Little AC poo.
Talk about some great clips, honestly. And of course, I was kidding about the necessary evil. So thankful to Blue Light for supporting Midwest R6. And thank you to everyone who submitted your clips. Again, if you want to show off your clips, be sure to send them to @MidwestR6 on Twitter and Discord. And you could be very well shown up on the next stream, just like everyone who submitted was here. But with that being said, Kimchi, take it away with our first lineup for tonight.
All right, starting for Kansas Esports, we got Grogu, Squiddy, Safe Players, My Dog Died 2008, and Supreme. What a name. What a line.
I love that. That is an amazing name. But I mean, yeah, despite the funny name, My Dog Died, it does have quite a killer KD with 1.2. Same with Safe Players. Look at that. And let's actually take a look at the Kansas MVP next. That is going to be, of course, Safe Players. 1.4 KD, 53.53 rating, 35% SRV, and 63 total kills. Heavy hitter for Kansas University.
A lot of kills. We've been seeing a lot of these heavy frag players start grabbing most valuable player and a bit lower KD sometimes with those high risk engages. So to keep it closer to 2 is going to be the goal, I guess, for some of these guys.
I know, definitely. Sometimes you got to have that player who's going to be able to clutch it up. And it seems like that's going to be the player for Kansas University. But with that being said, we do have a quote from Squiddy, and it's going to be, "Put Emerald Plains in comp." That's a take. I agree. No, let this happen, Kimchi. Let it happen.
No.
But with that being said, coming up next, we've got Illinois State University and their roster. We will have Pencil, Cam, Cow, Dur, and Kurt, with Cow at a 1.55 KD. Very impressive.
Oh,
And
real hard on the, I guess, the not pulse, but wouldn't it be shocking to see a pulse with that high of a KD with how often you could just roam and throw C4s with that guy?
well, yeah, I mean, roamers honestly do so much dirty work nowadays. I mean, if your roamers fall apart too early, that's basically it. But with that being said, our MVP for ISU is going to be, naturally, Cow, with a 1.55 KD, 53.35 rating, 25% SRV, and 82 total kills. Also, this is probably not the most appropriate joke on earth, but I
No.
think it would be absolutely funny if the character for Cow was Grid, but you know, that's just me making a bad joke. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on
And
to
stream is
the
canceled. Anyways, talking about getting canceled, Cal had a very interesting quote here. I'm killing my team with hammers if we lose. A very bold claim, and I hope it's a vote of confidence from the captain and not going to come true. Basically, you better win ISU or else Cal has some choice actions.
He's gonna be after you. He's gonna be right after
Oh,
you.
God.
But with that being said, let's take a look at our maps real quick. We have for our 3 maps: Skyscraper, Cafe, and our Decider Chalet. What do you think about opening up on Skyscraper? Definitely an interesting choice here.
We've been seeing, I mean, we've seen a couple teams pick up the Skyscraper as the decider map, and actually we've been seeing a lot of Chalet as the opener or second map instead. But to see those two get flipped is an interesting turn of events, actually.
Yeah, and I am all for seeing more Skyscraper. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting up. So let's get right into the matchup. First up, Skyscraper. ISU on attack, Kansas on defense. Kimchi, what do you think we're going to see for bans? You thinking we're going to see something a little bit spicy?
Now we're going to see Dokevi. Monty is a little spicy. I mean, we had a fragging Monty last week on stream, so maybe they're just terrified of someone pulling a Weecon on the Shield Boy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, when you have a player going by backstairs, I think it's blackstairs, pushing that from karaoke T, that is really dangerous. You know, being able to take a position that usually defenders like to play aggressively against, because you really don't have a lot of fallback from that position if you get badly hurt or, you know, caught with your pants down. There's not a lot of options. So I mean, having that just makes that position still very dangerous. But I mean, otherwise, band's pretty standard. Flores, Fenrir, and maybe Azami, probably.
Maybe a zombie. Kaid is another one that we've seen a couple of. Valkyrie would have also been an acceptable option. Those kind of the 3 standard non-Fenrir bands that we've been seeing a lot of.
Surprised by the Cade. I'm not saying that it's not a uncommon band, but from when I've been casting Skyscraper, I haven't really seen a Cade ban all that often, especially since, you know, usually you have someone go below for Armory Office by default. So gotta be honest, I really wasn't expecting that. But it does look like we will be starting off with Karaoke and Tea Room. Usually that's the typical rotation: clear out the second floors and then let the first floor be kind of a dice roll, end up with a 4-2 split. So nothing that we haven't seen before here in that regard.
Yes, the best bomb sites in the game. I just really like Tea Room Karaoke. It's a fun time, it's a tight space, and you gotta really find your way around to get some we've seen some interesting strategies both here and at the highest tier, such as mid-round reinforces. I've never seen a mid-round reinforce, shockingly. So, first time for everything, I guess.
Yeah. You know, and however you change it up, it's on a map that's this defender-sided, any kind of change up is gonna usually guarantee a relatively safe round as long as, you know, the attack doesn't really ramp it up. And it's kind of hard to do that with, you know, Skyscraper. And I always talk about the theory of attacking Skyscraper. You let one section, you know, kind of fall apart, whether it's the vertical or the horizontal, and you full send it one way, it can end in some pretty massive upsets and disappointment. I mean, you do have safe player with the Nitro, but gonna be holding by mainstairs, so they might not have much for, you know, the Nitro scene from below. But that's pretty much the standard quo, is you want to punish them when they try to push in and get that plant as much as possible. But we will see a full horizontal coming from ISU here, and they've shown they can be quite fast and pretty devastating on this horizontal clear. But we'll see how Kansas is going to respond to that. I mean, they do have the Nitro, a little bit of aggression there to kind of help with, you know, repelling them. But with Nomad on the flank watch, it's going to be Pencil. It's hard to say how effective this will be.
Now they've gotten first contact here, getting the Ace and the Thatcher to just breach this wall, and now you have to watch this angle. Even if no one ever ends up coming from it, they just kind of need to have someone there in case the potential threat of someone coming in through that one tiny reinforcement, and they're just gonna smoke it off instead, actually.
I mean, to be fair, they are stalling for a pretty good amount of time. I mean, we're 1 minute and 30 seconds in, and ISU really hasn't gotten much in-building presence, except for Cam, who's just walked into office. This is the first major push, and we could see the first pick of the matchup coming really soon, as My Dog Died will be holding from Dragon, where we start to see a push-up. Get a little bit of peek shots coming out from the breach. Nope, no heads taken quite yet. Squiddy gonna start throwing out those Chankas, or those incendiaries, try to hold that off, but flashes are gonna go through. Fire is gonna cut them off. That's gonna prevent them from being able to get the wall, and there's the shield. There's the first pick. Supreme going to take Cow, save players to take Pencil out as well. Looks like ICU is gonna be struggling with their attack initially, losing 2 players. Their flank watch, Pencil, and their additional intel from Iana. 45 seconds, and they still haven't really made much progress out beyond VIP clearance and from office. We'll see one on the cross. Not going to be able to catch it. We'll get that wall open, but we will see Grogu going to be able to take another 2v1, and yet another as My Dog Died takes Cam, and it's all up to Dirt. We'll be able to take one. Going to sustain a little bit of damage. We'll be able to take Grogu out from Gong, or not Gong. Shoot, I'm forgetting my callouts. 20 seconds remaining. Gonna have to make a major push here. Goes through Shrine. Trying to look for somebody here, but there's really no one holding too aggressively here. Someone does push up. He's able to cross in time, but not before Safe catches Dur out for the first win in favor of Kansas.
And I think that was kind of ISU over telegraphing that they wanted to push into Dragon there. I mean, the failed ace, and then it gets telegraphed, obviously. And then having to re-Thatcher, re-ace it, and then by the time they wanted to go for it, My Dog Died on the Goyo, already prepared, waiting, had I don't even know what the Goyo bombs are called. They're just little incendiary packages, already waiting, ready to blow up and cut off that angle. And most importantly, because they couldn't get the initial push they wanted, Cam was really slowed down, breaking, I mean, just getting onto the side at all. You really want your buff to be in there, taking down the soft walls, creating a lot of sight lines, and creating pressure for Kansas to answer to, and that just didn't really end up happening for ISU, so gonna need to, I mean, obviously clean it up a little and maybe pick up the pace just a bit more, because they had just over half the round when they got first entry into the building.
Yeah, that horizontal push was a little bit rough, and that was a bit uncharacteristic of ISU. Usually they're a lot faster on that initial entry, but then again, you did have a lot of presence from Kansas, you know what I mean, with Grogu and Supreme holding pretty much exactly or right to meet at where ISU was pushing from. But I mean, still, you gotta have a little bit more oomph into it, you know, a little bit more momentum, a little bit more initiative, maybe had someone below, something. Because just the amount of time they lost on their initial entry, even when they didn't lose anyone, was still very bad for them. You know, 1 minute 43, no one, and until someone walks in the building, that's a lot of time wasted. You want to be generally in the building within the first minute.
Now Cam maybe looking to get a lot faster with the Ash Rush. That's like the only thing the operator does at this point. Run in, usually die if you're playing solo queue, but Supreme thinks he might have found someone trying to get in.
Possibly, but I mean, you do have one holding by a double window. You are about to see a little bit of a peak there. Pencil will sustain a bit of damage. trying to hold that breach. They know that there's someone over by drum now, or at least if they didn't before, they do for sure. The ping comes out. Pencil slowly creeping up. Oh, gets a lot of damage. Will be able to finish Supreme off. Very good shots from Pencil. That information proving to be huge there.
Reload!
Oh, and now there's actually a lot of presence in T-Room now, so it's ISU starting to stack up. They're starting to get the numbers advantage, not just with that pick, but onto key sites that you need to hold, really. You RKU, and you're going to start getting pushed back a little bit. And you're going to have to even the numbers first, and then worry about, you know, fixing the hole in the defense.
But they're not giving up on contesting that extended presence yet. That you do have My Dog Died stuck in a corner. Does a drone spot him? Might have got off a little too late. Goes for the swing, takes a little bit of damage, but gets him off on Cal as well. But is gonna be stuck. Not gonna be able to rotate thanks to this push up from Cam. It's gonna be a dangerous situation for My Dog Died here, and Cal will be able to take Squidity, but not before the refrag onto Cal. It's looking a little bit closer for Kansas, but they've still got a person down. Safe players trying to hold off, you know, a little bit more of an advancement from quite a long angle over in Expedition. Does get peeked out. They will have that information, will eventually fall off. Oh, but Cam's going to be pushing up slowly. Does get spotted by the default. Grogu will throw the smoke out. There's going to be one very close to desk. Doesn't peek. Oh, but does Pencil? No. The shots will give away where Grogu is here. Safe players will be able to take hurt from that angle. Starts to walk up through the smoke. Pencil gets him. Or Cam, I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v3. We'll be able to take one. Takes two! Double kill. Now for a 1v1. The swing comes in. Tries to go for a pre-fire. And the prone shot to take Pencil out as Kansas saves the round. Oh my gosh. Got a little bit of toxicity in all chat.
Oh,
Yikes.
these two teams already getting at each other's heads, but yep. ISU giving the flowers over to Kansas, right? That's a My Dog Died for a phenomenal 3v1 to clutch the round. It just, I don't know how he got away with that swing onto two as well. And just when it was looking good for ISU, they finally started putting the pressure on. They got 2 picks early. Cam rushes in to uneven the numbers again, pushes through the smoke thinking, I could take out. I can easily trade this guy. He's not going to hit a shot. Gets it, and they just need to get one more, and I don't even know how My Dog Died pulled that magic out of the hat with Warden of all operators.
Yeah, I think honestly there was just a little bit of a gap of information, and just ISU's overall positioning as they were, you know, continuing with their execute really left them kind of in a vulnerable position, unable to properly refrag. It didn't seem like they were, you know, ready for that after gaining such massive grounds, and how fast My Dog Died took that follow-up after losing so much control, I think is really what did ISU in. They got a lot of control. They pretty much had sight, but they didn't really do much to hunker down or get information. They just kind of kept trucking along, and My Dog Died abused that heavily. You know, being so close to where they were pushing up from, no information. It just kind of was the ideal situation, you know, to take a fight, to put yourself in a clutchable situation. And clutch he did, indeed.
Oh, man. Yeah, all of them piled into one room, and he knew full well that they were all watching the same angle, so it's easy to abuse that information and finish the job. But now ISU still just trying to poke and prod here to see where they can get entry, and I believe that is them onto the first. No, it's a drone. I'm blind.
I do that sometimes.
Oh, wait, no, it was actually, I think that might be a Gemini for all I know, but is into sight, or not into sight, into building here.
Nope, that's going to be
actually.
Yep,
Cow.
that is Ayana, going to be slowly creeping up house stairs. Going to be looking to find one shrine. Not going to find anyone there. There is My Dog Died lurking in office, but it does seem like Cal is aware. Throws a flash, gets flashed herself.
Flashes himself.
Gonna be walking down main stairs. My Dog Died still holding in display, but the pings go through. They know where he is. Flash goes through. Doesn't catch My Dog Died though. Still sitting in the corner. That flash is gonna catch him. He's gonna be completely blind. Goes for the crouch spray and is gonna be able to hit it. Not a lot he can do there. I mean, with the crouch as well. Oh, but 3 more picks. Oh, Kurt lot of damage here. The shotgun comes out from the Supreme, trying to take this. Will be able to catch Kurt out. Tries to take another from the hatch drop. Oh, primes the Nitro at just the wrong time for the reswing. Very fast and clean round from ISU. That's the kind of speed that I would expect from ISU.
Oh, and the trash talk continues. I absolutely love it. But we were watching Cal go for a very speedy take of the stairs and eventually spending 3 flashbangs to kill off, I believe that was My Dog died on the Jaeger that time. But while all that was happening, Cam and I don't remember who got the second one, sadly, but yeah, Cam and company were just pushing in, getting the first contact pick, and then just it was easy pickings there, apparently. 4v4 is not really a problem for ISU, and Cal went good for 1, so they made it pretty easy, honestly, to just pick up that round, even though we didn't see most of it, sadly. Just how CJs sometimes.
No, and that was the important thing with ISU. And we've seen teams in the past, you know, they have the perfect information on someone, but the confidence just isn't there, you know, to take that fight. And what I think was the major mistake on Kansas's end was My Dog died, pretty much just sat in the corner, kind of, you know, hoping that they can wait out the flash. But, you know, when you've got flashes you're going up against, you have to swing. You don't have an option. You got to get out of there. You know what I mean? When they're flashing like that, you have to have some kind of intuition of, hey, this person knows exactly where I am. I need to try to get out of here by taking some kind of initiative, some kind of aggression. Because if you're going up against a competent, you know, player, they're not going to give you a head height fight that you can just pre-fire. So you can hold that all you want, but you're pretty much just praying that they swing standing height, and you're going to be able to time it right, which is 2 presumptions that did not happen, right? And obviously he paid for his life there. So, I mean, Kansas, I think, to prevent that, just needs to play a little bit closer to, you know, match the level of coordination that ISU has on their attack. But otherwise, you know, I still think that Kansas is in a good situation to bring it forward too, you know? That was the first foresight.
He really wanted to try and maybe get a cheeky peek out onto balcony, but just did not get it. ISU mostly playing on the opposite wall of him, so
I think he's done. He's playing close.
He's still going. He's waiting for them to push forwards here, it seems, but going to disengage upon hearing... Actually, no, that's his teammate breaking stuff, but now ISU are going to be able to start pushing forwards here and get first entry.
But I'm going to be honest, I think with how Kansas is playing right now, this might be a bit of a mistake. Although ISU does kind of struggle on getting this, getting this push through this office area. It can be a bit tricky for them. We've seen this in the past, whether that was the site for them or whatnot. It can be a bit of a problem. Oh, but it doesn't seem like that might be the case this time. Kurt being able to watch out and take Supreme down, but we will see one for ones here, back to back, but more picks going for ISU than Kansas, able to take 2 in close succession. That coordinated execute on the horizontal going greatly in their favor. And look at all the space they gain. They're going to be able to push all the way up to drums here.
Oh, they've spotted Squiddy now too with that Gemini.
And he's stuck in a corner. This is not looking good. Does throw some Shimikas. Will be able to get away, though. That's going to make the situation just a little bit more winnable. Clock is going down. 36 seconds. ISU is going to have to push up. Oh, but Grogu goes down thanks to the push from Cow. And now it's all up to Squiddy, but it's not going to happen with Cow to finish the job. Pushing him before he has a chance to retaliate.
Oh, they used it their own. I think that definitely was a pre-made rotation hole from Kansas, and using it against them is that's got to hurt a little bit, I would imagine. But I mean, that was just office pick. ISU finally really getting that push through office, and I think it does kind of stem from what you were saying, safe players maybe making the mistake of backing off there. I think he could have tried to maybe trade there, possibly go 1 for 1, maybe even 2 for 1 with the shotgun with how you can spam it pretty well. I think he should have stayed aggressive and covered that angle, because that really did just give up so much space and so much pressure for ISU to take advantage of.
I think this also, now ISU having their attack nailed down and how they want to pinch out Kansas, with how, you know, Kansas tends to play in these kind of off pick, or I would say offhand kind of positions, but not really having a proper fallback and getting cut out like this is creating a problem, a significant problem for Kansas. You know, not really having the cover they need, not having the fallback that you would have with more standardized setups. It can work to throw off a team that may not properly have the information, thanks to, you know, Mew Jammers or Mozzies, or, you know, the other team, ISU, not droning properly, which I'm not saying that they aren't, but unfortunately, that's not really the case. ISU getting a lot of value out of their intel, and because of these offhand positions, it's hurting Kansas. But if ISU wins more attack rounds, this could be really bad for Kansas, because a typical matchup is around 4-2 because of those first floor sites. But the fact that ISU is winning second floor sites now, that spells a good deal of trouble if Kansas can't figure out how to better prevent these cutouts, these pinches that ISU are nailing right now.
Ooh, Supreme, I think that's a floor, but I'm always thrown off by the floor display of this, but it's just ISU continuing to poke and prod, getting vision, League of Legends, sorry, getting intel of where KU want to play around, and now they kind of know to expect someone hiding on that deployable shield, and that's the Gone 6 taken out to destroy it immediately. Now, pushing forwards, going to be able to trade for one, or not even trade, just take safe players down. And Yano
my
swinging.
My dog died, gonna sustain a lot of damage, gonna have to drop off. The refrag was right there, but the shots go through, but not for My Dog died, just a hair too late. It was so close. Oh my gosh, Pencil. Where was Supreme at? Just not expecting Pencil at all. I'm telling you, ISU just has the information to always be somewhere that Kansas is not really able to account for, as we saw with Supreme going down and waiting room. And now it is a 4v3, and with plenty of time on ISU's hands. But with My Dog died and Grogu still up and 3 canisters remaining, it's going to be a little bit tricky to flush out these players. They're going to be able to stall for time, and they're going to be resistant to Pencil's flashes. So they're going to have to really focus up here and try to find that opening to initiate those 1-for-1 trades, because they can do that. That's the win for ISU. But if they can't, that's going to be Kansas round, and it doesn't look like they might be able to do that, because Cam will go down to My Dog died. Going to take a bit of initiative. Going to go down. Kurt going to also get taken out as well. Smoke canister will go in as well. My Dog died to finish the job on Dur, or take Dur out. Now it's all up to Pencil. Looks like they weren't able to find that opening. It is possible to res, though, but with 15 seconds left on the clock, diffuser not in hand, I don't think that's going to be an option. Oh my gosh, Grogu not ready as Pencil goes for the triple kill, but with 8 seconds left on the clock, he's going to have to find My Dog died, try to take this fight, but he's all the way in. Off as he gets caught from the head holds by the reinforcement to take that round.
ISU able to catch Kansas, lacking a little bit. I mean, on that round, I guess, I don't know what Supreme was looking at. Through the Azami, through the Kiba at the window, and I guess just assumed no one was going to try and swing or peek him from there, but Pencil very much up to the challenge, and just picture perfect headshot right there to get entry and a frag on top of it. But in the 4v3, KU, I mean, it was really just a clutch up situation. They played exactly how they needed to, got the initial pick, since ISU were able to be a little bit more aggressive with the Zofia. They tried to use the concussion there to possibly try and find somebody, but didn't hit. My Dog died, and it's just easy pickings right there. And then 3v3, they just kind of, I mean, they just played at home. They had the 1v2, used pretty much one person to just get intel, and then had the perfect angle to close it out on a hole in the wall punch next to a reinforced when they knew they had to rush in to find a frag with no time to defuse.
10 seconds to insertion.
think what you said about having to rush because of the lack of time speaks to a very important state of affairs in how this half will end up, because Kansas knows the key to stopping ISU. They let them push, but they stall time as much as they can on the initial entry. They keep their star players alive, and that is those who are going to be able to deny them that entry and create a pressure, that ISU can't handle, such as, Smoke or Warden or anyone who's going to be able to, keep a clear head when the utility starts flying on the execute. But I feel like ISU also recognizes this, and, Kansas does double down with... Oh, I was just about to mention him, and look at that. Already taking one very aggressively from Armory. He's going to fall back completely with a free pick and a bit of trash talk on top. But that's what I was talking about. If my dog died, went out, or I'm sorry, not my dog died. If it was like safe players or Supreme going out with Nitro in hand, or even Squiddy, someone who's going to be able to stall out that execute and line them up for a devastating loss on the execute, that's going to be ISU's round. And ISU needs to take those star players out prior to execute. Oh, and there goes my dog died. Cal going to be able to take one on the push from main stairs. We are going to see some Shumikas go out, or I'm sorry, is that Shumikas or Goyos? But either way,
one of the two.
Either way, we are going to see that utility for stall starting to get slowly creep down, and that's what I'm talking about. If they run out of utility to deny them from their on-site execute, and they get that utility out, it's not going to look good for Kansas. That is the keys to success for both teams. ISU ensuring that they are not in a position where they are timed out or dealing with star players in countering executes. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. We are going to see a push from Geisha, and that's going to be from Pencil trying to drone out that position. It does look like they are getting ready to push out into Shrine or Drum, possibly. We will see the hop out, so it does look like we are having a bit of a positional shift, going more for I would say, a three-way push. Flashes go out. Pencil flashes himself twice. Not going to be able to get that control quite yet. Don't know if they spawned one from Geisha quite yet, but 40 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to get a move on.
Squiddy just laying on the floor, laying down the shoe because trying to deny anybody entry just from that one specific area. Oh, shoot. That was... Cam. We panned over to that. Sorry, I didn't even notice.
Yep, that's one of the star players. Oh, but safe players is going to get aggressive, take a lot of damage here. We will see Supreme throw up his glasses. We'll see two picks from Squiddy and Supreme up to Dur. Not looking good here. And there's the quick swing from safe players as he tries to pre-fire, but it ain't going to work against a shotgun player here. And that's going to be the 4-2 split that we were expecting, folks.
And now
Kansas was looking scary, but they got it.
I mean, in a very good situation right now, of course. 4-2, what you expect from the defenders, a very defender-sided game in general, especially on something like Skyscraper, where second floor is just pretty much impossible to take, or not impossible, but it's very challenging to take second floor as an attacker, and to get that split is beneficial. Now just 2 rounds of attack, all they need to get at least overtime guaranteed, and that is kind of the minimum goal for these teams, is the 6. 7 if you can get it, of course, but getting that next chance to win the game overall, always nice.
Oh yeah, when you have a map that's more defender-sided, that's typically what you tend to see, is ironically enough, even though the split is obviously going to be in favor of defenders, statistically speaking, but what you also see is that you're more likely to go into overtime. Think back to Theme Park, right? When that was in the competitive rotation, similar situation. You typically go 4-2, maybe even as high as 5-1, but usually the other team bounces back and does the exact same thing, and you usually go into overtime. Because remember, folks, it's a lot easier to defend in general than it is to attack. So if you have a more defender-sided map, that makes attacking even harder. Both teams struggle, and you usually get a defender-sided split from both sides. It tends to make things a bit more equal. So really, even though Kansas has the lead, it's looking pretty even as far as typical round differentials from this map.
I do like the utility coming out here from ISU. A little bit of the stall tactics. We see, never mind. Grogu doesn't care about any of the comms, just instantly wipes Cal off the map.
That aggression isn't going to pay off for him, unfortunately. And that is a player that you do not want to lose this early on. Bandit has always been a notorious roamer. Nitro in hand, being able to blitz all over the place. Blitz, both GS, G9. But always able to play very aggressively and get a lot of benefit out of it. But losing that player, not good. And I mean, with so much time remaining, I mean, who better of a pick than one of the most annoying roamers, you know, as far as gun, as far as movement speed, you know, nitro, everything that you could hate in dealing with a roamer. Bandit generally has it, except for, you know, the actual utility, which is just, you know, place and forget.
Bomb located.
At least he got that value out, I guess, as it is My Dog Died opening up the floor below sight in toilet, trying to find a potential pick or at least put some pressure and worry in the minds of ISU's defense.
Yeah, I think that vertical might have... Oh my gosh, maybe not! Maybe not! Dur gonna go down and My Dog Died, and that's gonna be a huge opening, allowing for Supreme gonna be able to walk up with that shield, and that's gonna put a lot of pressure onto ISU here, who are already down 2. That was a massive clear. I was gonna say that vertical might have backfired, creating an opening to deny from stairs, but it doesn't. But we will see Squiddy go down. Those are gonna be all the way up to the karaoke. Oh my gosh, but Pencil will still be able to catch him despite having the shield completely out. Oh, but we will see 2 picks back to back, 3 back to back. Safe players to take Ham, Pencil, and Cow, and in rapid succession, and taking the first round of the second half on attack.
Wow, it looked like it was going to be in favor of KU from the first moment as Cal got himself picked off, but so, I mean, and then ISU getting absolutely verted off the map. Dur fell to Buck blowing the floor open and saying, doesn't matter how hard you reinforce the walls, I still find a way to destroy something. And then it was a battle back for not for KU, for ISU.
Defenders,
Even
protect your
found a
bombs
pick
from
onto
being
the
used by
OSA,
attackers.
finding a weird angle that Supreme was not expecting anybody to be watching. But none of it came to matter because Safe Players just finds an unreal triple spray kill.
Oh yeah.
To close out the round, my goodness.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was just lined up for everything that came her way with how ISU was positioned. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. It was just all lined up, and she doesn't miss those, apparently. But I do really want to emphasize, you know, the importance of how close that round was in reality. Especially, you know, we're talking about that vertical position, because all it would have taken, right, if, you know, Frost, I believe that was Pencil, if I'm, or not Pencil.
Frost was
Attackers have located
Dur,
bomb.
thank you. Dur holding that position, able to stay alive and contest those black stairs, you know, from OSA, that could have been a serious problem, because, you know, being able to establish that much space in such a key position, I think really was what gave that opening for Safe and Kansas to take as many as they did on their execute. And that's, yeah, that speaks to how close it was. That one play, you know, a vert, if it went badly for Buck, that could have costed them the round. But as ballsy as it was, it did work in their favor.
And that does seem to be kind of how Kansas want to play. They are fine with being ballsy, as I believe Kurt has just blinded himself with his own Wamai.
With both teams blinding themselves, I'm all for it. It's so funny, but yeah, both teams have blinded themselves so many times. But I mean, you can't blame them. I mean, the flash radius is freaking huge nowadays. I mean, with the flash changes, it's pretty easy to flash yourself if you don't get it properly tucked in those corners. And even then, I think it can kind of wrap around. I don't know the exact mechanics, but I know that it's so much more forgiving when you throw flashes, both for flashing yourself and for flashing other people.
Now, KU pushing forwards. They're kind of just being stonewalled by Kurt right now behind this deployable. They have nothing to take it out, I believe. No gun 6 in the back pocket and no frags. Interestingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a minute 12, and we haven't seen anyone get taken out. Oh, but we'll see. My dog died. Oh, get folks out of ball, and Cow catches him. No, didn't clear all the way. Cow just waiting for My Dog Died to just look the other way. And, yeah, the clearly paid off for ISU there. Kansas just not having that information, unfortunately. 45 seconds. One player down, that's their vertical player, and with Cow still below on the Nitro, this is going to be a problem that Kansas is going to have to acknowledge or suffer for it. Oh, but Supreme goes down, but not before Safe. Able to secure onto Kurt, but is still going to have to gift the revive. Going to have to push through drums, and oh, Pencil does get funneled, and Grogu will be able to take 2 from Geisha. That push gonna be critical in creating an opening for Supreme to get res. Will be able to do just that. 18 seconds remaining. Cow will catch Grogu. That will be the double kill. 15 seconds remaining, and it's all up to Dur and Cow as Kansas will get their execute. Gritty gonna be holding from the repel, and Safe Players is gonna go for the plant. Gonna be covering, and here comes the shotgun swing. Oh, but misses. Oh, the plant almost goes down, and it does as the picks go down. The plant goes out, and Safe to finish the job onto Cow.
Ooh, it wasn't really a retake of site needed for ISU. It was pretty clean if they had Dur just take out the diffuser, but misses the first shot, misses the second, and then by that point, 2 people were covering to make sure there was no canceled diffuses this game or this round at least.
Oh no, that really could have went either way with how little time there was on that plant, and that shotgun corner swing is so deadly. I mean, you're right, both of those shotgun shots missed, but you got to keep in mind, he still got out every time that he did that swing, both times. So if those shots connected,
Attackers need to locate and defuse
that would have been so bad for Kansas. And that's the thing, right? These rounds have been really close. Really close. There's always that one key play that has to go through for ISU in order for them to meet their win condition. And it just barely isn't there. And that's what's costing them these attacks, not maintaining these win conditions. And this is what could give Kansas their win. I mean, they've already taken 2 attack rounds. And usually, you know, it's like, okay, sure, right? You got your 2, but you still got to get 1 more. But the thing is, they've been winning on second floor, and they have a 4-round buffer, which means that they are gonna have to play first floor, which has pretty much always been a win for the attackers. And that is gonna be particularly dicey for ISU, and could be the, you know, the, what's the expression? The something that breaks the camel back? I don't know.
Straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, that. Thank you. Apparently, I'm having a little bit of a brain rot moment there.
I'm always having a brain rot moment, so feel that.
But with that being said, we are going to start to see a little, or actually a very spread out positioning from Kansas initially. We have some going for what looks to be Geisha and Drum, and then we have others going from below, trying to get that clear. Fortunately for Kansas, ISU doesn't really seem to be in any kind of position to kind of meet them at their initial entry, so they're going to get a lot of free horizontal control. Oh, no, I think Cam got missed on the drone. If someone swings this could be absolutely devastating. I don't know. I don't think they know. But with how much time this has elapsed, it's possible that, you know, they properly clear that. Do spot the head height holes. We'll see the Nomad for the main stairs. Going to be able to cut off any players who are below. They do have 1 below. So far, I think I can clear this corner. Oh, this could be bad. There's 3 here. Are they ready? Oh, there's the swing. 1 goes down, pushes, looking to the other. Is he still on his drone? Oh, never, not anymore. Oh, there's the swing. Misses him, doesn't clear the corner all the way, and My Dog Died will be able to take him, although it's looking a little scary. Oh, there's another one. Oh my gosh! Pencil with the win. No!
Oh, no.
That's
Pencil.
Devastating.
You
Dog,
gotta hit those.
My Dog Died wasn't even looking for that. Oh, man.
Oh, but ISU actually evened it back out. It's 2v2 right now, and Diffuser is down on Dur.
Oh, yeah, and there's no one by Bauk. They're not going to be able to rotate with a minute remaining. This could be ISU's opportunity for a comeback here. But, I mean, Kansas has got plenty of time. They just need to get this information and play this out properly. Will shoot out the drone, throws out a goo mine. That is going to give away the positioning here. All it's up to is Kansas to get that information and isolate at least one player. Because if they can get one player isolated out, this will be extremely winnable for them. But they are starting to run out of time. Going to be bringing a drone all the way back from backstairs, which is going to be a huge loss of time just to get some additional information. I don't know if the Dur got spotted there, but I do think they know at least about Cal. 20 seconds remaining. They're gonna have to push together at some point. 15 seconds left on the clock. The Candela start to go out. It's not gonna catch anyone blind. Cal does go down, however, but it's all up to Dur. The Nitro goes through, doesn't connect. 7 seconds remaining. Able to take My Dog Died, and it's all up to save players who is stuck on a goo mine. Looks like it pays off. Trying to take the headshot, and he gets it from the desk angle, and that is gonna be an extremely close round for Kansas State to win their first map.
Oh, Dur, all you had to do was go prone and you win that round. There was only 3 seconds left. He can't run. He has the goo needle in the foot, and that would have very likely stalled out the remaining time on the round, but it is... that is a tough one to swallow there.
That's really tough. You know, ISU was looking for some potential at a comeback, but that just didn't happen. I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting a little bit more impact from ISU, and I was not anticipating Kansas to have such a strong attack from beginning to end. I mean, they really were full speed ahead, winning pretty much every round, which definitely is a mold breaker. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Kansas's map. So it really does go
ISU's pick, and they have taunted.
Oh, really?
They are taunting ISU about that they went 7-2 on their own map, including a 0-2 or 0-3 defender half. Yeah, no, you're right. Didn't lose a single attack. And yeah, you're right. I just double checked, and it is absolutely ISU's map. That's devastating for ISU, because now we're going to be moving on to Kansas State's map of Cafe. So, I mean, unless ISU can do the same turnaround and slam them on their own map, we might see a 2-0 against ISU, who's usually a really strong team, but it looks like Kansas is going to be just as strong, if not stronger, if they're able to maintain, you know, that same performance on their own map, which, considering that's their pick, you know, who's to say? It very well could be the case. But we'll find that out in just a moment, as we are going to go on a quick break to move on. And with that, we will move on to map 2. So we'll see you guys in just a sec. We'll be right back.
Nice. Connector.
He's still stuck there. That's above you after you kill this guy.
Yep, you got him. Alright, Men's fireplace. He's halfway up now. Halfway up, like. No.
Bathroom dead. I'm in bathroom.
I'm gonna keep holding fire.
Captain dead.
Main. Oh my god, one hatch.
Two connected.
Main stairs, bottom main.
What?
There, taking
One player left, and he gets taken out to the I love more.
Diffuser down closet. Trophy. Get the foul. Yo, just.
Below manages to get in, and they drop down randomly.
I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. I got the streets on lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. So lock, no I can't stop, no I can't stop. No I can't stop.
And we are back for game 2 between Kansas Esports and Illinois State University. We saw a 7-2 from Kansas on ISU's own map pick, which they have been plenty chatty about. So with match point on the line, ISU, they need to clap back as we go to Cafe.
Oh yeah, no, that they need to have a bounce back. And Cafe is a more, I would say, open map as far as like what setups you want to, do. I mean, there's a lot of mix-ups you can do for second floor. You could have, someone kind of trying to spawn peek, run out on second floor, third floor, try to deny any kind of initial entry, install that timeout dramatically. You could put a bunch of stall utility towards Cigar. You can have pretty much the entire site opened up, or you can close it off, with Miras. There's so many different variations, and because it can be kind of condensed, a lot of choke points, you could put a lot of utility denial, Mozzie, drone blockers, mute jammers. There's so many different combinations to play the most popular sites, and I think that's going to pose a unique challenge for ISU because it's not their pick. And if we're going to presume that the picks is based off of what they're more experienced with, which historically speaking, that tends to be the case in the playoffs versus, when we're getting down to those big name eliminations, that I think is going to be a big problem for ISU.
But speaking of defense, maybe those potential mix-up, those curveballs will be advantageous to them. They really need to step it up on defense. They had the average 2-1 split or the 1-2, I guess, on attack, and then just blew up on defense. and it's kind of at the hand of letting KU clutch out too many rounds. 2-3 times they've gone from 2-1, 3-1, and found a way to win despite the odds. So ISU overall do need a clutch up in those situations, which sounds weird when you have a numbers advantage and needing to say clutch up, as we are getting the okay here, I believe, as we are going to jump into the pick, or well, just the bans. No picks, just bans.
Yep, does look like we're going to be starting off with some of those bans. On Kansas's side, if I were to say what they should be banning for attack, or ISCU, they need to get rid of Ying. Ying was a major problem in, you know, creating that buffer for them to get those good executes. They need to punish their execute ops as much as possible. On Kansas's side, I feel like they need to punish ISU on their initial entry because they had a strong initial entry. And we will see ISU go with the Ying ban. They are thinking this through, and I think Kansas is going to follow up with some kind of ban on initial entry or setup. Maybe it's like a buck or something. And we'll see the Monty ban again. I don't get it. Why are we banning Monty?
I mean, he's
And,
a good operator, but I don't know if he's that good unless you are facing off against a really good Monty. But you have, I mean, I'm pretty sure Kansas have had a C4 at least one Nitro every single round on defense.
The Nitros are really flying on defense, seriously. Like, we almost always saw some kind of play with Nitros, and we'll see the Fenrir ban, so that is gonna, you know, help to get a little bit more information off of, you know, peaks, which is gonna kind of help, especially if you've got a lot of intel denial, which we didn't see any bans of, but we'll see. My dog died, say the Ying crutch. That's pretty funny. But I'm really surprised that Kansas is that worried about Monty that they go for that ban, because you got to keep in mind, right? Monty, if you are anywhere vertical with Monty, he's so unbelievably vulnerable because Cafe is a relatively hollow map. And because of that, it can be pretty easy to kind of map out where the Monty is and Nitro the life out of that. I mean, look, you already got ISU with 2 Nitros. So, I mean, I think the Monty ban is kind of a mistake, honestly. Like, I think they need to punish ISU on their initial entry because they get that down pretty pat, and more often than not with advantages on their end.
I'm intrigued to see the castle because this operator's only goal is to waste your time or your utility, and I've been seeing too many people run it. I just remember the days of castle's a garbage operator, no one should pick him, and now he's kind of getting picked every game at least. Like once a game.
If you think he was getting picked every game now, you should have seen him in the utility meta. That's when it really started.
Util meta. How much stuff can you throw on the floor?
I miss the util meta so much. I don't care what anyone says. I miss it. When I think about it, it makes me want to cry. Disagree.
It slowed down the game. It slowed down the game a lot. A bit
good.
Too much.
Good. Okay, maybe a bit too much, yes, but good.
We're in a healthy
TDM meta is
mostly
annoying.
healthy meta. Right. The fragments are gone. That's all I'm saying. Or mostly gone. Reduced.
I'm trying to keep my sanity here, but we will see Cal gonna be holding close to Christmas tree. We could see an early peek here. This could be the first pick of the match. Oh, but the alibi is gonna give away the positioning here of safe players here, and we're not gonna see much of a follow-up on either end. Was thinking maybe a bit of a run out, but it doesn't look like we're gonna see much of that so far. No initial pick quite yet, as both are kind of holding down for Christmas. We will see the smoke creep in, and there it is with Cal holding for the refrag. Could be able to get the first pick of the match. Oh, but there's another swing coming in, and it doesn't look like Kurt is going to be ready for that, but that's not the pick they were suspecting. However, Cal will be able to get another. Going to be holding prone. Very vulnerable. Gets up right as Supreme peaks for a double kill. Gonna be able to even those numbers out. They are gonna have full second floor control. This is gonna allow for vertical from Grogu, and it does look like they're gonna start to get just that. But you gotta keep in mind, they still have 2 Nitros on the board. No Nitro players down. Cam and Dur can get their damage in if they position this and time this correctly. But right now, they're not where these guys are at. So it doesn't look like that impact will be there quite yet. It's going to be really interesting how this vertical will impact the round.
I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if they keep Grogu up here just to break open this entire floor and spray down anyone he finds, but it also is going to have the extra effect of locking ISU down a lot harder. It feels that they're going to end up a bit more stuck in where they can play because that vision is so much, or I guess just the whole thing is more open than it normally would be. So the corners you can hide in are severely reduced as the diffuser's going down. Have they even noticed?
I don't think they have the but they do
noticed.
Nitro. Oh yeah, they definitely did at that point. Able to catch out Supreme. 15 seconds left on the clock.
have recovered their diffuser.
Try to go for it as well.
15 seconds
But
to go.
Calm also has a Nitro. Oh my gosh, he's gonna go for it as well. That's gonna catch. Oh, there it is. Grogu now down for the count. It's gonna all be up to Squiddy. Drop down, tries to catch Pencil, gets a lot of damage, does finish the job, but there's no time remaining. ISU taking the first round.
I was gonna say, if ISU gave up another 3v1 clutch, I would have been just gone.
Did
the
I not
belief in them would have been gone.
Oh yeah. Did I not say that Nitro was gonna have massive impact?
Well, banned Monty as well, so I guess, man, they really didn't believe in their Nitros until... They still don't believe in their Nitros, I guess, on the side of KU, but ISU using 2 Nitros beautifully to get rid of 2, I guess, quotation marks, stealth diffuses.
Attackers need to locate
I
and
don't know about
defuse as
that,
many
but-
bombs as they can.
Definitely being able to get rid of those diffusers was really important. But I gotta note that it did get kind of close to completing. But I mean, when you got 2 players in that position and you don't really have a follow-up, you know, to protect that diffuser, yeah, that's a big problem. I'm really surprised though that they still held above, despite Pencil and Dirt both being on the board. I'm really surprised by that because usually if you're able to walk up and you know those Nitros on the board, you want to hold that aggressively. You know, maybe throw a flash, get over by half wall,
5 seconds
and
remaining.
try to contest the Nitros with all your life and give your life up to
Attackers
ensure
are
that plan.
heading
'Cause
out
that
to
would have been
defuse the bomb.
a nasty post plant, you know, with those castles ending up backfiring for ISU if they got it. But, you know, the cover just wasn't there. They did have it for the swing, but they didn't have it for the Nitros, which really makes me question if it's possible that they just didn't know that there was this many Nitros on the board, which somehow I'm inclined to believe that that's not the case and maybe something just went wrong, maybe the lack of confidence, but in, you know, holding on the same level, I'm not sure, but that was quite strange.
And the conga lining into sight definitely didn't help. He's going 1 by 1 after each one died, putting each member in a more dire situation. Definitely helped the pressure compound a lot as Cam is getting contested here by the frag grenades, and that's going to be a mute chamber down at least. And shots from Hatch.
I think that might have been from
That
Balk.
was-
It was. Yeah,
not-
from Grogu. Yeah, gonna be holding that angle.
Window.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where the shots came from. Cam's gonna have sustained a lot of damage here. Gonna get peeked from Freezer as well. You know, I remember back in the day when the rule of thumb was if you are peeking Balk, you're throwing, right? Because there's always would be someone who would die from Balk. There's always that ego peek every time. And naturally, of course, I would win those because I'm just him. But, you know, those times are long since gone. Oh, but Cam
Cam knows
creeping
they
up.
dropped.
Oh, no. The down goes through, but doesn't finish the job. The swift refrag could possibly get this res as no one's really in a position to aggress here. I mean, both in a very vulnerable position, but no one to follow up, and with the track stingers down as well. This should be
Attackers
a free
recovered the
res
bomb
on My Dog
diffuser.
Died, and we
It
will
will be.
see just that as Kansas is now at a person advantage here with having cigar control. This is really significant for them, you know, to only get in a better and better position from here. 55 seconds, they do have to get out from Cigar, and it's one thing to get into Cigar, it's another thing to get out. Oh, but we are going to see the smokes. Are we going to see a drop from Grogu in a second? A lot of flashes are coming out. My dog died. Oh, no, he TK's safe players, and Pencil takes My Dog Died as well. Can't even refrag the TK. No. Cow to take Squiddy as well. The repel in from Supreme comes in, but there is going to be one holding bar. Pencil taking Grogu. It's all up to Supreme. They know where he is. Dur? Dur. I don't know what happened. Oh, a very nice shot on the Cow. And it's a 1v1. Oh my gosh. What
Pencil,
a
you gotta
violent
have this.
turnaround. But
Save your team.
Seconds to go.
yeah, that's a way to save it, but they don't have diffuser in hand. They're gonna have to push
recovered
this.
the
10
diffuser.
seconds remaining.
10 seconds
But
left.
Pencil's holding all the way in Cigar or in
5
Piano.
seconds
This is
remaining.
gonna give for a free defuse, and he has no way to push this. Tries to pre-fire, but shots
Attackers are
aren't gonna be able to
activating
pen
the diffuser.
through and connect onto the Supreme. Diffuser is gonna go down, but does she have the information? But she does now with the shots. Gonna give away Pencil's position here. 35 seconds left on the clock. It's all up to this fight here in Cocktail. He knows that she's cornered. Holding close to the tracks. He was trying to go for the pre-fire, but doesn't get it. Pencil to get a little bit of teabag in with so much time to spare on the defuse.
Oh man, that went terribly until it didn't go terribly. How do KU keep finding these insane 3v1 almost
Defenders
got it
disabled the
after a
diffuser.
TK nonetheless,
Bomb
after
diffuser
a
attempt failed.
terrible
Defenders
miscommunication that usually spells some kind of doom for the team that does it. They almost win the round.
I mean, it's yeah, rough. It's just rough. It seems like Kansas is kind of making the same kind of mistakes that ISU was on the first half. It's like we're looking at two different teams. Kansas, now ISU, and ISU Kansas, strangely enough. I mean, it's Kansas's map, similar how it was
Attackers
ISU
need
for the
to
last
locate
map.
and defuse as many
And
bombs as they can.
you know, ISU was making the mistake of, little mistakes on their execute on attack, but now Kansas is doing the same thing on their map.
Bomb
Ooh,
located
it
by
is,
attackers.
Trash Talk's gonna be spicy after this game, regardless of who wins. That's all I know.
Well, it's gonna be absolutely ballistic. It's gonna be ballistic. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's looking like the exact same sweep just for
10 seconds left.
or the
before
other way
insertion.
around. I mean, I don't know how to really spin it, but I mean,
5
we've
seconds
come
remaining.
full circle, at least so far. I mean, Kansas coming close both times,
Attackers
but
are moving to
just
defuse the
dying to
bomb.
very unfortunate circumstances. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
it's just really tragic all the way around. So we could see an overtime. We definitely could.
Would be interesting. Would be fun because the games I've casted have not gone to overtime. They've just been pretty much stomps at the end.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of times, and it could be, unfortunate when it's not the most close. But I mean, ISU is showing promise here to make it a lot closer than what we were, originally anticipating. Both teams really exceeding expectations in their own way. Oh, we're going to see a lot of aggression from Pencil. Be able to get some body shots on a Grogu, but unfortunately not going to be able to take a head tiger. Does catch one by Golden Stairs. Not going to be able to take him, though, but that is going to give a lot of key information that, the ISU has a pretty significant presence holding for both. Oh my gosh, does
that
he
an angle
actually have
lineup?
an angle?
I couldn't
does
tell
have
if
a
that
long-
was a person or not.
He did have a long angle on the window, but My Dog Died is still droning. Could you imagine taking an angle like that from a peak? That would have been disgusting. But so far, both teams staying alive, not taking anybody out. ISU playing this, quite safe, going for a clear from both below and above, trying to pinch two ways onto ISU. Definitely an interesting way to go about it, but definitely not a bad approach by any means. But it does mean they are quite a bit split here.
It's it's 3 inside right now. 2 pushing the same exact spot, and then 1 still outside, not prone, repelling, and that's going to be Squiddy dying to Cam, and that's going to be a very important pick here, as that is some of their entry. As My Dog Died is trading up top against 2 more.
we would see him to ultimately go down. It does look like we are getting a little bit of execute here, as we will see the plant from Osa. Oh, the Signature does get off. They know Kurt knows she's in the corner, but still takes that shot anyway. 45 seconds remaining. Could possibly go for a res onto My Dog Died, but he's all alone. 39 seconds left. Gonna have to make a move to try to go for this res. Dur will finish the job. The half shot comes in, and there's Dur close, able to take that shot. It's all up to Pencil and Safe here. 25 seconds remaining. They know where each other are at. Goes for the nade throw to try to stall. Does attempt to go for the plant. He is going to attempt to push this. Try to open the line of sight. Get a shot on the Safe players. Not going to be able to do it. Does spot her, though. Or does she? Oh, he doesn't! Safe players to rotate through Laundry and secure their round. Their first attack round, as a fact.
And there it is. Kansas tighten up there, and while they were pretty spread, they made the most of it despite sacrificing one of their players. You put that rotate there, but oh my god.
I mean, they did.
They did do that. Never used it. And it's just, toxicity. But KU, despite getting picked off early in the round, or I guess late in the round, early in the gunfights, able to pull it together with their Gridlock Osa combination to eventually plant the diffuser and drag it to a 1v1 again.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs
And this
as
time they
can.
did pull through. I mean, they had a lot more time, or this time around, and Pencil was just significantly displaced there. And that, and that nade was really smart, creating that buffer, because it actually did show that impact. Because if he'd got that line of sight established earlier, he absolutely would have smoked Squiddy there. But because of that nade throw, stalling that time, he wasn't able to get it in time.
And somehow Kansas stalling even while on attack is honestly kind of impressive. That was kind of what they built their defense around. Or actually, no, that was I think that was ISU, but I could be wrong, as is usual.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just the fact that, Kansas went for such a split approach there. Having a first floor clear, third floor clear, and then collapsing onto site with many players still close by to deny the plant, and still putting that pressure of the plant to displace them. It's definitely an interesting tactic, and it worked really well, surprisingly, just because, of how much time they were losing initially, but being able to force it with that much time remaining and to get ISU to come out of their corners was really important for them. And we are going to have to see how fast Kansas can do a top down. It does look like they're going to go for that, but it takes a lot of time to do that, and they have to move fast. And so far, they're moving a bit slow. But fortunately for them, there's no smoke utility. Oh, Cow going to be creeping up the window. Oh no, the hop in! Squiddy going out with not a clue of the doom to come. Very unfortunate. They will have established third floor. They know someone's second floor, but that comes at a cost of your flank watch. Kurt gonna take some damage from above. They do have that information on him. They know that he's rotated out. He's still committed to holding aggressively. Gonna be playing in Laundry. Rotating up to white stairs. Looking to possibly take another. Oh, but died holding Laundry room. Cal gonna take another. Kurt to take one as well. Absolutely decimating on the initial entry, but My Dog Died will get his successful cutoff onto Kurt, but there's still more problems to come with another player holding third floor as well. It's not looking too good here.
Oh, yeah, well, that's not good. They wanted that, again, as you said earlier, or as you said at the start of the round, they wanted that top down, but they can't really succeed on it. They trade, or it's not really a trade, it's just they get 3 lost there and safe players. Walking around, there's one who rotated, oh, that was Cal, that's right. Cal rotated all the way up to top floor after being pressured out of Laundry. Or that was the third, yeah, pressured out of Laundry. I'm mixing up everything now. My Dog Died gonna open up this floor above the bomb site to get some verticality and maybe some intel as well.
I mean, the problem is when you have a rogue player like that and you have no time remaining, you basically don't have an option except to ignore that player unless you want to risk taking another loss. And that's going to be a major detriment because that means at some point, you know someone's going to be walking
Attackers have
down,
located a
getting
bomb.
on you. Oh, but
15
my dog
seconds
died.
remaining.
He's so exposed to the line of sight, but he's crouching right below the head height. Goes for a swing on the closet, doesn't get it. But we will see one from safe players on site. But Cow gonna be inevitably hopping down to finish the job.
And Cow using the threat of the rogue player, as you dubbed it, perfectly right there. The pressure that it creates, just knowing that someone is going to eventually pop out to pop your grape, is a lot of pressure to start moving towards the site, and mix that with the time pressure, it really just spelled the end of Kansas in that round.
If you are getting ready to execute and you still have a rogue player, you can reliably know that you are, as long as
Attackers
that
need to
roamer
locate and
doesn't
defuse as many
screw it
bombs
up,
as they can.
you are going to lose one player. Guaranteed. Unless you have drones or flank or something like that, in which Kansas unfortunately didn't, you're going to lose a player. And there's nothing you can do about it. Your best case scenario is you refrag, you trade, whatever. Worst case scenario, that person single-handedly wipes out your execute. So, I mean, it is a incredible danger. And that's honestly been my #1 approach when I used to roam back for Bradley University, is I would honestly try my best to be in that position, and when the execute went down, just fall back
5
onto
seconds
site,
left
take
before
1,
insertion.
2, maybe even 3, and just, you know, set up whoever my
Attackers are
anchor
moving to
is
defuse
to,
a bomb.
you know, finish the job up. Or at least that was what I tried to do. It didn't always work because the droning was insane against the teams I played against.
And speaking of droning, there are a lot of extra drones in the hands of KU with the Brava and the Flores here. Interesting.
Very intel-heavy composition, but, you know, I can't blame them. I mean, they had a player die to a hop-in. They had a rogue player that was able to get away that cost them a player. Can't blame them for wanting to get more of that intel, but I don't think that's the right call. I feel... Whoa! Massive
What just
damage from a
went down?
nitro.
C4
I think that was a
barely
nitro.
outside the kill range. Yeah, you see Cal right there. That C4 says 0.
Yeah, the nitro from the hatch dealing massive damage so early on. And that's going to be really unfortunate because the whole pro, you know, of 3 armors is that you have so much health. And now a slow glass cannon, that's dangerous. Oh, but it looks like it's not going to matter as Grogu will be able to catch Cow from above. I'm telling you, it's it's funny how Kansas, they hold that Balk and they get away with it, you know? If I did that, oh, it'd be a bad day for me, shoot. That's why I don't even peek that, but... Hey, Kansas has made it work, and they've gotten a lot of impact out of that, surprisingly.
I mean, it would have worked first round, definitely, if it didn't have a disastrous TK situation that kind of put them into the panic mode. But Grogu has been extremely effective at, I mean, now picking up a kill on it, but just denying the vision, and didn't get to do the zone control with the flame bolt, but will very much have that to his advantage very soon once they decide to push in here 4v4.
I mean, they're already establishing Zakar control, you know what I mean, with a minute remaining. They've got plenty of time here to take this Zakar control. We are going to see Pencil try to retake this space, but Pixel's a really tough position to hold here, and I feel like it's not going to be long until they get flushed out. As long as the doesn't overpush this, smoke does go out, try to go for a pre-fire, does catch, my dog died, but the plant's still going down. They're forcing this from Cigar. We'll see the repel in. Pencil will go down from Cigar. We see the rotate from Cam trying to push back, gets taken out, but we will see the cocktail player, Dur, who's held that position before, able to take one, and Squiddy gonna take another. Dur gonna sustain major damage, gonna be all the way in cocktail, stuck in a rock in a hard place, over in the corner, and with 4 players to go, my dog died, possibly in a position to be revived here, but I don't think that revive is gonna be necessary. Tries to peek, but gets caught out from New Balk.
That was, I mean, that was exactly what Kansas wanted to do there. Use the Capitao. I mean, also get a pick off of it. That wasn't ideal, but, or that wasn't in the requirements, but definitely helps. Use that Capitao to create pressure, lay down the smokes, use the smokes of the gridlock, get the plant, and force ISU to answer the very smoky, very scary room that was the bar.
I feel like with ISU, they played it a bit too extended. I mean, they had a good lineup with Cigar, but with the way that they were able to force
Defenders,
a plant
protect your
there
bombs from
and
being
not
defused
having
by
really
attackers.
anything to answer for it with how the utility was set up, because it was more set it up for, you know, an extended kind of clear, which is typical. You know, you take Cigar, you take Piano, and then you split out from there. Some go white, maybe even walk up white stairs. You have some pushing up from, you know, Cigar, New Balk, maybe even have someone repel from Cocktail. But no, like, Kansas pretty much pulled a fake there. They had the positions as if they were going to do that and just didn't, and full sent it instead. And despite the fact that Monty is banned, we have a Blitz player.
5 seconds remaining.
Safe Players has been playing Blitz, has been playing Osa. Maybe that's why they didn't want the Monty.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
You know, now that I
drop
think
the
about
bomb
it,
diffuser.
you might be cooking with the
Attackers
ban
recovered the bomb diffuser.
or with justifying that ban, because that is true. We have seen Safe Players play a lot of shields, and that, you know, would justify the Monty, and we could be seeing why that's the case in just a second, as we do have Safe Players on the Blitz. So could get very, very spicy here in just a second. Oh, and two others, Supreme and My Dog died right behind as they're getting ready for this push. Cal gonna be holding close from Christmas, but is gonna fully fall back. Does he know that there's a shield player holding close? I don't know, but if he doesn't, he's gonna be in for a world of hurt here. And we will see them start to push out. Grogu gonna get that white control very early on. And oh no! Save Players with the pistol whip. He's already planting. What is that? Oh, but the vertical position will be able to take one. Another goes down, but the diffuser does go down. Oh, Cam gets flashed right in his face. Tries to pull the glasses up, and it's too late. It's Save Players. Pistol whips him out. You gotta have those glasses up a little bit sooner than that. With the Diffuser now down 3v3. This is still winnable for a retake. Tries to peek out from New Balk to fall back. Will be able to get away. Cal gonna be close to defuse. Could try to go for defuse here. He is gonna try to stick it. But is anyone in a position to stop this? He's still going. Is he gonna get the defuse? No one can stop him. He gets the defuse. What on earth was that?
Hey, you, what are you doing? You had such a good plan going in. Wait for someone to get caught out, or for them to look at the door, determine that no one's going to come, rotate out, push in with the Blitz, get a speed diffuse down, and it went to perfection, except for the fact you forgot to cover the bomb site. So it was just ISU able to slip through the back door and just not even stealth diffuse it, just diffuse it on their heads pretty much. And KU lost a very, very winnable round here.
I don't know how on earth Cal is able to walk with the massive balls needed to do that. That was insane. I mean, ideally, if someone's holding that, that shouldn't have worked. It should have displaced, you know, Kansas, and then ISU takes advantage of that, starts taking more fights, initiates off of that, maybe covers. But I mean, to just stick it like that and get away with it, oh my gosh.
I thought Cal was baiting. Like 90% of defuses where you do that, that's usually a bait to try and see who's peeking on site.
No, absolutely, but turns out that was not the case. I can't believe that. What a round. And I mean, to end it on a 4-2 split, ISU's looking good here. They're looking good. If they can get a 3-3 minimum, then that's their game. And we're going to see, you know, again, with the other team, or the team taking the other team's map pick. And that would be definitely interesting. And I mean, it looks like that's going to happen. I mean, we're on a 4-2 split again. Are we going to see ISU take 3 rounds in a row here? I don't know, but Supreme holding very aggressively onto Pillar, waiting for that new Balk drop. I would think ISU knows better. Will drop from the Cigar Hatch. Going to slowly creep up, but there is not going to be anyone from Pillar. Looks like Supreme is going to fall back a little bit here.
He fell back a lot of it. Holy cow. Sprinted back to first floor. And ISU are just, I mean, Kansas, I guess, happy to give up the first or the third floor control here.
I mean, they do have some stalls. They have, you know, the Goyo. They have the Echo, kinda. I always say if you're gonna play Echo, use those rams aggressively, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be how they're using it for this round, at least. But I mean, regardless, you know, that's not good giving up their and second floor like that. We already can see the vertical, and oh no, there's a Nitro player gone. That's gonna be Cade. Save players taken off the board very early. You know, I mean, this is not, you know, how soon you want to be losing your anchors. That's gonna put a lot of stress, you know, on your roamers. And for Kansas to give up this much space to ISU, that is not working well for them. This is going to give them so much time for setup. And I mean, they have all the utility. Usually you want to go 1-to-1 to hurt their setup, but you didn't even get that. You just hurt yourself in holding off and execute. We will see the go AOs from Supreme go out, but with 50 seconds, I mean, they have plenty of time. I'm worried for Kansas right now.
I'm still intrigued by the, I mean, I can understand the third floor surrender there. You don't really need the third floor when you're defending first all that much unless you have someone playing hyper aggressive or want a roamer later on. But to instantly just give up second floor as well, yeah, that's just access to bomb site now, and they have vertical and horizontal pressure very much. ISU can very easily apply horizontal and vertical pressure here, and now going to spot out someone with these jackal traps.
I think that's going to be the VIP player. Knows one there, but 15 seconds. They have barely any presence on site. They need to go. They have wasted so much time here. We're going to see the run, and oh, but gets caught from VIP for a double kill. Nidog died, able to take two. With 3 seconds to go, they have no one to push up. This is going to be the round for Kansas as they completely run out of time. Where was the execute?
ISU got I mean, the dream right there. That is the dream. You get the defenders to instantly back off of covering third and second floor. You get vertical and horizontal pressure onto Kitchen, and you stand outside the site for the whole round.
I really don't know what to say there. I guess we're not gonna see that 7-2 back-to-back in this case. I mean, what on? You had everything. You basically had it given to you in a hand basket.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
You had Nitro down 5v4. And
yeah,
all
I mean,
pressure. You had Ram destroyed the entirety of Train.
I genuinely can't believe it. That should have been by every, you know, meaning of how to play. That should have been absolutely ISU's round, and it just wasn't. I don't. Maybe they just lost track of time. I understand that top down takes a lot of time. I do understand that, but unless you just weren't droning or something, you should have known that you had everything. Let's just move on.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and
I'm
defuse
losing
it.
brain cells trying to figure out how that happened.
All right, there's a Tachanka, and that makes me happy because I love Tachanka. I miss the LMG, but the Shumikas are pretty cool too. So a lot of zone denial for Supreme here available. Usually see Squiddy on this pick though, so nice to transfer it over to a different player.
I know Squiddy, I mean, was very heavy and, you know, willing to play Tachanka over by Drum, which is definitely a sight to see. But I mean, it did get a good amount of, you know, impact installing, but it looks like we're gonna see a fast push in. Oh, but the vertical for Supreme to take two there, and Grogu to take another as well. The fast take from Christmas completely failing. Surprised they went for a rush. Oh, Supreme with the nice try. Yikes!
I was gonna point it out
perfectly.
I didn't even get a chance to call. I was gonna say Supreme up on this third floor, just. He melted through the floor already, was ready to play vertical, and I was just going to point out how he has the opportunity to drop Shumikas here, but ISU's rush instantly shut down by the LMG.
Yeah.
Unlucky or genius, babe.
I mean, they did have all the information on Grogu, and they funneled him so hard on that pre-fire. So, I mean, that could have been an intentional bait, and if that, you know, was an intentional bait to get them to kind of rush, make them think it's clear, especially with the Mew Jammer to not be able to validate all of the information on the surrounding area. You know what? Galaxy Brain. Absolutely Galaxy Brain. Oh no, I think we're gonna see a double run out of Dirt. We're gonna see a lot of damage run out goes through. Oh no, but Squiddy can't finish the pick. Oh, that
Squiddy has the power 90, okay? Power 90 and an SMG, not the long range.
Oh!
puts down the dog who's died, but Supreme with the triple kill still sitting up here in Cocktail looking for the quadra. Kurt tagged now, but and Supreme's just gonna run away as they know exactly where Flores is walking.
That really hurt to see. It looks like Kurt's gonna try to pistol him out, and no, that's not happening. Squiddy to shut that down.
What? It's even. Holy cow.
Yeah, and I mean, it all happened so fast.
Oh, we are even, actually. This is 9. I thought it was 7. Or I thought it was 4-3, 4-4. We are tied, and Kansas are pulling this. KU, I was outside of the map for 30 seconds. Squiddy is just screaming. I love it.
I mean, how can you not have a breakdown? That was quite tragic. And I hit 3 nomads. Oh my gosh. Really? That's... Oh, that hurts.
Please.
That hurts.
If you're ISU, this is back-to-back disaster rounds right now, and you're really sweating because it was looking so good for you. You got the advantage early or in the first half, and now it is just falling to nothing.
Yeah, it's... ISU really has to get their attack together. I mean, there's no other way to put it, because whenever they go to attack, there's always something kind of gimmicky, you know, that they do, and it just results in an absolute collapse. Whether it was not really establishing much of the needed first floor control to have an execute, and not really trying to go for an execute until the last second when they didn't even have, you know, the full first floor control that they needed, or going for a rush off of an intel on an anchor. And, oh no, save players taking a spawn peek on Pencil. Oh, I think that was a Christmas run out too. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. That's gonna put ISU down for a player. But back to what I was saying, you know, ISU has gotta kind of stick to what worked on their attacks, which is, you know, getting those strong initial entries, and they're not happening, which is unlike on the first map. You know, usually they get a strong initial entry and then, you know, they execute, but it doesn't seem like they're getting the impact that they're looking for.
Ooh. And now just trying to, I guess, just run the attack. Oh, that's a sad drone. Just trying to run their attack -1 right now, and that's not the best situation, but they're going to be able to spot out.
Not again.
Grogu, don't do it. Stop. Don't you dare think this is a good angle, ISU. Look at where Squiddy is. They are doing the same exact play. Please don't do this.
Yep, and you even see Grogu get right off immediately. It's like they know. Oh no.
Oh.
There's 3. Please don't. Please don't.
Don't jump in. Don't do it. Oh,
Okay.
they know. They're assuming something's up.
They know, and good on them for knowing, because that had me so unbelievably worried. I was thinking, because ISU, I've casted them several times. They're really good. I would be genuinely blown away if they hopped in and got taken out like that again, but they know better. I'm not gonna put them down like that. Absolutely not. But the minute remaining, they still have Supreme holding from above, and with My Dog Died as well in Freezer. If they want to get a top down, they need to get rid of this Piano player. Oh, but we do see 2 pushing up from Piano, pushing the shield, not looking the right way. My Dog Died takes him, and there's still another in Piano. They've got a really good crossfire here. Oh, but he's not looking the right way for where they're peeking. Save players on the double kill, gonna be able to take Kurt. The flashes do go out, gonna get a lot of advancement here, but he's still holding the corner here. The impact goes out. Flash 2 pushes out, able to take Supreme, but does go down to the player deep in Freezer. The Nitro goes in to take him out with a double kill. Jura, the last one alive, gonna take a lot of shots to this crossfire here, trying to slice it up, not gonna be able to. The Fuser's still in hand, with 15 seconds left. If anything, he's gonna have to try to go for a rush plant to try to walk in. There is gonna be one that is close. Oh, takes one, but gets pistoled out by Grogu, who is holding in Train Museum.
At least they didn't rush the anchor this time. Honestly, it was just spawn peeked into, didn't get into the building until 1 minute was left in the round. They spent 2/3 of the round droning or peeking into a window, and it's just the time killed there. Either whether it was ISU scared to push or whether it was KU just having an impenetrable defense is, I mean, kind of meaningless because you don't really spend 2 minutes just sitting outside the building. You can't afford to do that if you're going for a top down.
Defenders, protect your
And
bombs
I'm
from
really
being defused by
surprised
attackers.
with Kansas. They've been doing a good job of denying the initial entry on ISU. Usually, ISU has a very strong initial entry, and or as seen from Bull 4 and on Skyscraper too. But unfortunately, what we're seeing is that Kansas is doing a really good job of not giving ISU space and letting them take advantage of what they perceive as gaps where they try to walk up, which is what we saw with Ash, you know, trying to walk up in
10 seconds to
piano,
insertion.
and Kansas is punishing, you know, those openings, and this is
5
what we're
seconds
seeing,
remaining.
right? Which makes me think that that bait with, or when,
Attackers are
who was
moving
it?
to defuse a bomb.
Maestro was in that corner. I think it's more of a master plan from Kansas University, because what I'm seeing is that they are intentionally creating these kind of passive positionings to give the sense that there's some kind of opening for ISU, and then they flip the switch, get aggressive when they try to walk in, and punish that. And this is putting ISU in a bind where they are opening themselves up, trying to create space, but instead getting stomped out by Kansas taking initiative. And I think ISU needs to maybe do a little bit of the same kind of baiting themselves. Make them think that they're going to be pushing up just enough to get them to expose themselves when they have a cross, waiting for that person to show themselves. But we are going to see a very fast third floor control from ISU, thanks to Cam already establishing third floor very quickly on. Going to be able to spot an echo cam, getting a lot of information. This is the attack that we know from ISU, and if they can keep this speed up, and it does look like Kansas is giving a lot of control to ISU yet again. Do they think this is gonna work? What do you think, Kimchi?
I don't know. We've seen this already. Like, we've seen them give up for third floor immediately, give up second floor, and just play kitchen pretty much. Just play around the actual site and do it perfectly. There's the peak coming through, but neither going to be able to find a kill, and now Ram going down. If they can actually establish some control of the first floor, I think ISU can do it. They were just playing a bit too passive, a bit too worried. Maybe thought they had more time than they did in round, what was it, first round of attack? They gotta just pick up the pace here, get a little more aggressive, try and find a pick, and then they can just start entering into sight.
Gathering intel.
The thing that's different is they have a minute remaining, and they already have so much presence. They got a lot faster this time. So I do give them props for that, but they still got to take out that VIP. Still take care of that closet player who are still sitting comfortably. But there it is. The nade. Going to be able to catch My Dog Died, but save players will be able to take Cam. That's a huge down. Now, if they can get the closet player out, get rid of Supreme, I think ISU will have everything they need for success here.
They need to find, they need to find the anchor. They just need to find anything, honestly. Get Grogu out, get safe players here. That would be huge, but it's going to be Squiddy picking up Kurt, and it's a 5v3, but My Dog Died still down. Don't know if he's getting the reses. The drop down from Dur now into Freezer. There's that fridge.
It is Freezer, 15 seconds remaining. We're going to see two players go down back-to-back onto Kansas, but we will see a double kill from safe players and a triple as he finishes it out for Kansas to actually take technically a flawless round. Despite 2 downs, no kills were ever secured there.
Ooh, I mean, you got the 4v5, well, 4v4 going through, and they just don't check. I needed it. Oh, and ISU taking a timeout here. Match point on the verge of going 0-2 in the game. And that's the second time we've seen KU fully surrender the second floor, all vertical control pretty much, over to ISU, and still almost flawlessly hold the site.
And that's pretty much, you know, the problem is their execute on first floor. It doesn't exist. And I feel like ISU is just not accounting for how much weight, those lurk positions of VIP and Closet really have. They were able to take out, the VIP player who's able to secure 2 last time, but never got rid of Closet, who was also a major problem last time. And that's pretty much, what I would say is the bulk of the problem for ISU is being able to pinch out Kansas when they hold these power positions. They struggled on Piano, they struggled on Closet, and then when they try to go for an execute, it's more forced than they would like, and it puts them in compromising positions that they unfortunately are not able to win out by sheer
Attackers need to locate
gunfighting
and defuse
like
as
they
many
usually.
bombs as they can.
Now 4 rounds in a row taken by Kansas here. ISU, again, second half winless, and it's even worse this time because you were just 2 maps away from guaranteeing overtime, and now you got to win back-to-back to keep this game going, to keep this match going.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way that Kansas has been playing so far, with being able to deny information, with being able to catch
10 seconds
ISU when they try to take initiative, it's created a pattern
5
for
seconds to
Kansas.
go.
They know that if they just, play the game
Attackers
of,
must locate and defuse a bomb.
or it's like fishing almost, You throw out the bait, reel it in a little bit, wait for them to bite, and then you yank them, right? And that's what Kansas is doing, and they're doing this extremely well. Every time they hold back just a little bit, ISU tries to take that, seeing gold, but really it's fool's gold, and Kansas flushes them out as a result. And that's what is really the big picture here. And ISU has got to be able to recognize that and punish Kansas when they try to aggress there and have a plan for those crosses if they encounter them, which unfortunately it doesn't seem that they've quite had that.
Now we're seeing these Flores drones go out, or starting to see them go out. Looking to flush out any stray members of KU here, get them that access to 3rd floor, give them the opening for some verticality in this round. But I believe Squiddy's still hiding up there on 3rd floor at the moment. There's actually a lot of KU on 3rd floor at the moment. We got a lot of flushing out to do here.
A good amount of work, but if they're able to take this with more time and more players up, because they know where these Kansas players are going to hold, and we kind of see that from how they've already pushed up on Piano, and the walls are reinforced, so they don't really have much of a cross here, but the run out, and the Nomad does catch him, but only catches Pencil too late. Will be able to escape all the way to Garage. They still have to push out through Whitehall. Cal will be able to catch Grogu here, but not without Cal taking a bit of damage in turn. Will still be alive to try to help with that 1st floor front. They are going to go for that multi-floor pinch yet again, but whether or not we see a fort or a early plant remains to be seen. The flash goes out. We will see the fall back here. Gonna be holding prone. You just spot him? Does spot him. Does take him out last second, but not before the prompt refrag from Cocktail. 39 seconds remaining here, and unfortunately for ISU, they're running out of time, They're at a player disadvantage. They do have an opportunity to cross into white, but we will see Durr go in and drop from the other side, where he'll get caught out by Squiddy, and he's walking into a crossfire. Cow will be able to take a double kill, tries to push through the rotate, but the pre-fire takes a little bit of damage, and we will see Safe go prone, but the wraparound from Cow, and he gets up and knocks him right down for Kansas to win it out 2-0.
Wow, again, it's KU. You didn't win one attack. Yeah, Supreme, that is... I mean, the moral of the story was... ISU just not winning a single second half round. 0-8 in the second half of game. Or in both maps. What is going on with this team?
I think it's not so much what's going on with ISU. I think it's more of what Kansas was doing, and how ISU doesn't really, I think, typically encounter that. Because when we watch their matchups, usually you get players who meet them face to face, commit to their aggression and try to repel and kind of corner themselves, trying to stall out the time as much as possible. And I think that's what ISU is more adapted to, more used to. And now they faced a team that has a completely different approach. They give them the space, but when it comes down to the power positions, it's that, again, it's that little tug and yank again. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. Kansas just able to always, be right under ISU's noses, just enough to get them to take the fight, but never enough to take the space.
That's actually a really good way of putting it, especially what we saw there at the end to close out what was a lot of defensive, what seemed like a lot of attacking struggles from ISU. Kansas surrendering the space, but never giving them exactly what they wanted. Always able to snap right back when it's time to kind of put the boot down, really, and say, ISU, you can have the second floor, but you get to sight, it's over for you.
Teams, I mean, it was definitely a matchup that I was not anticipating, but coming up next, we will, and for the last thing of tonight, we have our interview coming up from Kansas University in just a second. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a second.
Nice. Connector.
He's still stuck there. That's above you. You kill this guy.
Yep, you got him. Alright, Men's fireplace. He's halfway up now. Halfway up, like. No.
Bathroom dead. I'm in bathroom.
I'm gonna keep holding fine.
Captain dead.
Main. Oh my god, one hatch. Two connections.
Main stairs, bottom main.
What?
There, taking
One player left, and he gets taken out to the head. I love more.
Diffuser down closet. Show me.
Get the foul.
Yo, just.
Below manages to get in, and they drop down randomly.
No, I can't stop. No, I can't stop. No, I can't stop.
We can probably just go for plan. Nice. Connector.
He's still stuck there. Nice above you after you kill this guy.
Yep, you got him. Alright, Men's fireplace. He's halfway up now. Halfway up, like. No.
Bathroom dead. I'm in bathroom.
All right, and we are back after a nice 2-0 from Kansas on ISU. And with us for today's interview, we have Safe Players.
Sir.
Hello, and welcome to the Midwest R6 cast. And I guess I'll open up here with why the Monty ban? Both maps. We were questioning on the cast because it was like we didn't think it was that threatening. So can you give more insight to that?
Yeah, so the way we're setting up our sky defense, I'm sure you've seen on the overhead, we're kind of locking ourselves down a dragon, and we're super concerned about the roam side. And stuff we've been losing to in scrims is sort of like a black side push with karaoke repel and like a Monty walk up. So just kind of limiting that possibility made us feel way more secure on that hold.
It's actually really interesting and way more reason than I thought it was gonna be.
Actually kind of what I was speculating. So I mean that definitely makes sense. That is a really dangerous setup there. But one question that I do wanted want to ask you, were you expecting on Skyscraper to have taken that on their map, or what was kind of the prospects for you or for you guys going into that map, especially as the first map?
Yeah, we're confident on any map, I would say. I think that we like it when other teams pick Sky rather than us picking Sky, because then we get to start on defense, right? So yeah, that was good. There's a lot of improv we had to do on our attacks. 3-0 attacking half is better than we've been doing recently, I would say. But yeah, super secure in our defenses, and we still had more, in the strat book that we didn't get to show you guys today.
And I mean, we definitely see those play out for sure. No, go ahead, Kimchi.
I was gonna say, you guys were speaking of the 3-0 attack, flawless in the second half. Was that a result of you guys heating up as the game went on, or maybe getting more comfortable and used to how ISU was playing those each game?
Yeah, I would say so. You get a few rounds into the map, especially on their map pick, and you sort of get a feel for how they're going to play it. There was a lot of mid-round adaptation I'd say we had to do, though. There was obviously we had the late 2 versus 2 in the very last round where I had to rotate all the way over to the other side of the map. But yeah, good comms all around. We were playing off each other's info. Yeah, I would say we were pretty fundamentally sound.
So one trend that I kind of noticed with how you guys started to play, especially on the second map, you had a little bit of like, and I kind of use this analogy during the matchup, almost like fishing, right? You pull back or a little bit, just enough for them to kind of, like for a fish to grab the bait, and then you yank, right? Is that
Sure, yeah.
or was that something that you guys intentionally kind of came up identified that major advantage that you guys had in the matchup was the ability to back up just enough to make them think that there was an opening to push in and then cut them off with a crossfire and punish them in an open position they really couldn't handle. Was that all intentional or how did you guys come to that?
Yeah. So the way that we talk about our attacks when we're VOD reviewing, it's not really dependent on the team that we're playing. It's sort of like a self-identity thing. So I think we put a lot of emphasis on the pace of our attack. So sometimes you'll see us we'll see that we have an opportunity to speed up. So then we'll give out a comm like, all right, let's go fast, let's hit the site. And then other times maybe we'll get a numbers advantage, but we're not completely sure what the site looks like or what the picture is. And so then we'll say, all right, reset. We'll take a reset, drone out a little bit more, and then after we gather the info, that's usually the time when we'll see, them sort of take the bait where maybe they feel like we're about to hit the site and we're actually not. So then that's when we'll usually see some opponents make some not very good decisions about swinging. But that also gives us time, as long as we're holding that angle, to rotate to the spot that we need to be to make sure that we can secure the round.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Kimchi, you got anything?
I would ask about. Okay, one more thing. I do want to ask about the blitz round. What kind of went down there? It was a bit of a goofy play, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It was a very goofy play. I believe that was I can't remember. I think it was our second reading attack. The first one, we won it. Yeah, we won it, but it was really messy. I think I was in a 1v2 or 1v3 that round. And the way they were setting it up, like obviously our attack, we would sort of go in through train side. And we didn't really like what we saw with their setup the first time, so we didn't want to do that again. We decided to go for kind of a rush. And what I saw in drone in the prep phase was that they castled off the door from reading to the below heaven area. So that sort of told us that they wouldn't actively be watching that early in the round. So quickly spur of the moment, we're like, all right, let's get 3 here. Let's get 1 walk up white. Let's get 1 drop in new balk to watch over pillar. We got the bomb down like we wanted to, but spur of the moment, we didn't have all the angles covered, and they were able to defuse.
That's what happened. Okay. Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
going to be my question was how, someone was able to walk up. I mean, I did see that, there was that cocktail space that was being contested by Duran. That did kind of create an opening, but I was still quite surprised by, how that turned out. But I mean,
Yeah,
it
that was
sounds like
not
it
a
was just,
rehearsed play at all. It was not rehearsed.
yeah, it didn't seem like there was just a little bit of a, or I would say preparatory gap, honestly, because I mean, you guys had a pretty, lock and key. Is just there was just that gap, and ISU just happened to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but hey, that happens. I mean, you guys were still able to turn around on the second half, and that's ultimately what won you guys
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, definitely. And being, the scoreline was 2-3 when we decided to go for that play. We were fine with 2-4. We knew we were confident in our defenses, so it was appropriate time in the round to take a risk.
Kimchi, do you have any other questions before we close this out?
No, that was everything. Thank you, Safe Players, for the interview.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
GG's.
Of course.
Yep,
And
rock chalk.
congratulations on the win. Look forward to
Yeah.
seeing you down the line.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the interview and also the closing for our weekly matchup. So again, thank you to Safe Players for the interview and congratulations to Kansas University for the win. And thank you to ISU for playing out an interesting matchup, against Kansas University. All around, pretty good stuff. And we look forward to seeing both the teams in the future. But with that being said, I'm Piercing CV, Kimji.
I am Box Kimchi, and we'll see you next week for another MWR6 match.
Yeah. Always, you guys have a good week. Take it easy. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next time.